Hello everyone, all of my beautiful earthlings, my fellow earthlings, how are you? I hope you're all doing well where you are. So welcome to my first Q&A video. I'm excited about this. I had put a post on Instagram and on YouTube suggesting that people ask questions, and I got a lot of really good questions. So with that said, I decided to go ahead and break this video up into a couple of parts because I did make this video once already and there were so many questions that the video was over an hour long. I do have the tendency to sometimes ramble just a little bit, but anyways, I wanted to answer the questions fairly and not just like rush through everything. So anyways, if your question does not get answered in this video, stay tuned and make sure you watch the next one because I will answer every question that I saw. I got a ton of questions about why did I move to Finland, what did I do while I was in Finland, and did I go there by some sort of organization, because I've mentioned in a couple of other videos that I was a missionary there to Finland. And when I say missionary, I don't mean in the traditional sense of missionary where go to some underdeveloped country where I would build a church from scratch or anything like that. Obviously, there are already existing churches in Finland, and what I did was go there to support the already existing churches and to share my testimony, my story, in different churches there. Before I can even get into the missionary stuff, there's some question that I need to answer first. I feel like I've been hiding something, been keeping this dirty little secret from you guys, but it hasn't been intentional and I wasn't trying to be secretive, but there's just something that I haven't talked about that I need to share, so now is the time. I honestly haven't known how to talk about this. I knew I was going to have to. Anyways, here it goes. Why did I move to Finland? I moved to Finland because I was married to a Finn at the time. I was married to a Finnish man that I met at a church here in the United States in Dallas. In 2010, I moved to Dallas, Texas from Austin, Texas, and I met my ex-husband there at that church. He was visiting from Finland here on a tourist visa. He was visiting that church that we met at, and he went back to Finland. Then short time after that we were married, and then my daughter and I moved to Finland, and so that's how we ended up going to Finland. When you were in Finland, what did you do? Maybe tell us something about your past if possible. I'm just a bit curious to hear about that missionary service. What is the background organization? When did you first hear about Finland, and what made you come here out of all of the countries in the world? So all of these questions I'm going to answer right here. So I just told you that I moved to Finland because I was married to a Finnish man at the time. This was in 2011 that I moved to Finland. I lived there until 2015. Me and him were divorced in a couple of years ago. His father is, or was, I don't know if he still is, the head of the Pentecostal church, and so therefore we had connections there in Finland to do some ministry work. Wanted to have a ministry, and so we formed a ministry. We went to Finland and we wanted to serve in the churches that were already there, and bring like a refreshment, you know, something fresh into the churches there. And we also held twice weekly prayer and worship meetings that were our own, in Toivo 2 in Turku. And we did that for a few years. I was invited to come to different churches in Finland and share my testimony, and also sometimes to share a message. That's the main reason why I moved there. While I was there, as part of the integration system that they have there, you have to take a language course. So I took a language course for 1 year. It was 5 days a week, 6 hours a day for 1 whole year. That's a long time. But Finnish is that hard that you really need a lot more than that, actually. Then I took another half a year of Finnish language voluntarily in the medical area to study the medical area of the language, the hoitoalan. That's pretty much what I did. So I did ministry and I studied Finnish, and I didn't ever work there. I did work practicums there, but that was it. So that's how I got into Finland. Some people have asked, how was I able to move there? Well, the first time that I ever went to Finland, I visited. You can go visit there and stay for up to 3 months, and then, you know, you're not required to have a visa. So I was only there for 2 weeks, and then the next time I went, I was actually married, so that's how I was able to go into the country and then start the paperwork to get my residence permit, which, by the way, I was only 1 month shy from meeting the requirements to get Finnish citizenship, because the requirements when I was there at that time in 2015, it was like you had to pass the Finnish language proficiency test, which I did, and then you had to live there for 4 years. And well, I lived there 1 month shy of 4 years. So hopefully when I do go back to Finland, they will still count that time and I can just add 1 more month and then I can get my Finnish citizenship. Oh my god, that would be so amazing. I hope that can happen. What was your journey deciding to come as a missionary to Finland? And I'm a bit curious to hear about the missionary service. What is the background organization? I already said that. And did you come to Finland by some sort of organization? So I've answered those. My journey to deciding to become a missionary, well, this is a very tough question. I was attending right before I moved to Finland. See, this is hard for me to talk about, and I really want to put it into words, and I really need to share my experience because I feel like it could be useful for someone. And it's just that I'm on this journey myself, and I'm still trying to put words to all of these ponderings and spiritual things that I've been experiencing, and I don't have a language for it yet, but I'm gonna do my best. I was a part of a church in Dallas, Texas before I moved to Finland, and during the whole time that I was in Finland, we were still in contact, you know, and involved in the church back here in the States. I love the people from that church. It was a very small church of less than 30 people. We were all like family. They are the ones that too quickly and prematurely, in my opinion, ordained me as a minister and ordained me and my ex-husband as ministers and sent us out on this mission to be missionaries to Finland. My whole life I had always wanted to be one, but as most of you know, and you will know more about this too, I took a wrong path and I was on drugs for a very long time, and I just did a lot of things to damage myself and break myself. And this was only like 1 year after I came off the streets that I went to start to go minister, and honestly it just was premature. I meant all of it that I did from my heart. I really was serving the Lord to the best of my ability from my heart, but looking back, everything just kind of felt rushed and I felt pushed into it, and it just shouldn't have been at that time. I just wasn't spiritually or emotionally or mentally mature enough to do it. I have a lot of hurt feelings from that church because, well, number one, I was eventually kicked out of that congregation. I'm not gonna say like that I was hurt by churches, but I was hurt by well-meaning Christians that call themselves the church. And so I've been struggling lately with my beliefs. Not that I don't believe in God anymore. I do believe in God, I believe that, but there are so many things that have changed. Even though it had always been in my heart that I wanted to be like a missionary or something, I feel like I was pushed into it too fast, too soon, and it shouldn't have happened. I got really burned out while I was there, and I quit ministry. Maybe I don't honestly remember how long, if it was 6 months or a year, the last year that I was there, but I just quit. Like I couldn't deal with it anymore, because I felt like a hypocrite. Because if I'm ministering to people and I'm talking about love, and I'm talking about, you know, I'm preaching about how we need to love and forgive and have peace and unity and all of this stuff, and then at home, my married life was not that way. Even though I was trying and giving it my best effort, it just wasn't working out. And I felt like if I can't make it work in my own home, like if I can't apply these principles and make them work in my own home, then I don't need to be sharing it with other people. And so I just decided that ministry for me was not a good idea at that point. And so I stopped. And I took a step back from it. And I think that was the best thing that I could have done. The church that sent us there, you know, they said, usually when a church sends you out as a missionary, they support you and they help you. They supported us by prayer, and that was about it. And it just felt like they kind of just, I'm just being real and honest here. Looking back, like, I feel like they just didn't know what to do with me and my daughter, and so they just said, hey, it would be a great idea for you and Mika to be missionaries, so y'all go to Finland and be missionaries. And I was like, yeah, sounds like a great idea, because I always wanted to go to a foreign country, you know, and all of that stuff. So yeah, but I'm gonna talk more about my spiritual journey and spiritual stuff like that in another video. I just don't want to take up all the time here talking about that. If you have any more questions about that, please feel free to ask me. The other question that I got was, I got several of these, was I want to know about your past, your story. I am going to do a video about my whole testimony and my story. It will take some time, and I want to do it justice by giving it space in its own video. So I will definitely share with you about my story and my drug addiction and how I overcame it. What was your favorite part about Finland, and what you had to do to move to Finland? Well, my favorite part was the people and how beautiful Finland is, and just the fact that it was so different, like night and day from where I came from. I'm gonna be really honest, when I first moved there, it was really hard for me to get adjusted. I was not used to people being so reserved, and there were times where I just really longed for a nice, warm, friendly hug, someone to tell me hello and greet me, someone to just hold me and tell me it was gonna be okay. Like, I missed the warm friendliness that I've experienced here. The weather was cold, the people seemed distant, and so the first 2 years I was there, it was really hard, like really hard for me. But I just tried to have an open mind and push through it, and I tried to learn about the people. Why are the people this way? And when I got to know about Finnish history, about the war, the Cold War, and all of the things that have happened in Finland, it really helped me to understand more about Finnish people and why that they are the way that they are. And the way that I got to Finland was being married to a Finn. I don't think I had to do anything special. I mean, once I got there, I had to fill out some paperwork and give my passport. I don't remember giving any other special papers or anything. It was really easy, to be honest, especially compared to if someone wants to come into the United States. Do you cheer for USA or Finland when they meet in sports? Well, Finland, of course. What are your favorite things about living in the US and Texas? The weather is my favorite thing, and people being friendly and being able to drive down the road and in the country and people wave at you, strangers wave at you and you wave back. The various types of food. I love food. If you moved to Finland again for a long time, what would you miss from the US besides your loved ones and the sun? Anything? That would be pretty much it. Like my loved ones and the weather. If those two things I could have in Finland, it would be paradise for me to live in Finland. Yeah, that would be the thing that I would miss the most. I can't really think of much else that I would miss. And she asked, also, is your husband interested in moving to Finland? Good question. Yes, he is. A few more things. What did you do when you were younger? I've done pretty much everything. I was in the Texas Army National Guard, and in there I became a combat medic, which is similar to an emergency medical technician in civilian life. I've studied some nursing, but I never got a degree. I did get a medical assisting certificate. What got you into using drugs? A lot of brokenness, a lot of pain, and being around the wrong people. What got you in your current job? My current job is right now YouTube. And that's thanks to my husband being supportive and telling me to go for it. So this is my job right now that I have. What dreams do you have for your future besides moving to Finland? What dreams do I have? I want to be really successful on YouTube because I hope to inspire people to live their best life and to be themselves and to break free from expectations of themselves or expectations of other people, and just to pursue who they really were created and destined to be. I, within 1 year, hope to be living full-time, like traveling on the road in our Scamp travel trailer. So hopefully in 1 year we will be doing that, traveling all over the United States, and then we want to at some point backpack all over the world. And so yeah, that's my biggest dreams. I hope to inspire people, and one day I want to live in the bush with people, with some Aborigines, with some indigenous people groups, because I feel like I would learn a lot from that, and I really want to experience what it would be like, and I hope to be able to do that. And so that leads me to this question. As a little kid, who did you want to be when you grew up? There's two answers to that. One, I always wanted to be an actress. I've always wanted to be an actress since I can remember. I've done some acting, I've done some modeling, all in my early teens. I was in commercials and magazines and newspapers and stuff like that. I just wish that I would have had the self-confidence at the time to pursue that and to really do something with that. And the other thing was, I've always wanted to be a missionary, just as a young child. Before I even knew what that was or what they did, I was watching a movie once, and there was a couple that had given everything up, and they went to live with this indigenous tribe of people in Africa in the bush. And I was like, Mom, I want to do that. What are they? What are they doing? She's like, oh, they're missionaries. I'm like, that's what I want to do. I want to give up everything that I have, and I want to go live with a people group, Aborigines, Africans, I don't know where, but yeah, I want to go live in the bush with people and hopefully bring light and love into their lives. And so yeah, that's what I always wanted to be since I was a little kid when I grow up, and I hope that I can still do that. Well, that's gonna be it for this one. Please stay tuned for my next video. If I didn't get your questions answered in this one, I apologize if it was kind of all over the place. This is my first Q&A, and I just didn't know how to talk about the whole like divorce thing and why I was in Finland and how to put it into words and the whole, because there is a lot of, let me just say this, there's a lot of judgment that comes from Christians when Christians get divorced. I face a lot of judgment and criticism and just some kind of just stuff, you know, especially when you've been a minister and then you get a divorce. Like, you're supposed to be a leader, and you know, I will definitely share my thoughts on that sometime, but let me just say, it's been hard to talk about. It's been hard to even start to form words for it, because it pushed me away so much that I quit going to church, and I don't go to church anymore. I don't have anything against them. I just don't have the desire to be around that right now. And I love Jesus. I love the Lord, and I still, you know, have a relationship with him, and I know that he knows my heart, and I'm not worried about, you know, where I am, because I know he's not worried about it, and he loves me enough to let me find myself and to find my way, and he loves me enough to give me space to figure it out. He doesn't get intimidated because I question things, and I'm just trying to figure out what it is that I believe and why I believe it, because I was a part of a congregation that, I'm not going to call them a cult, but if they don't change their ways, they will soon be that, you know, if not already. Anytime that you attend a church or whatever congregation, they try to tell you that you have to be submitted only to them. They don't allow room for questions, and they are trying to control your life and control your way of thinking and brainwash you. I mean, that pretty much falls under the category of a cult, regardless of the fact if they help you and if God's power is there to set you free or whatever. I mean, I experienced some amazing things there, but that doesn't make what was going on in that church right. And so it's pushed me away from that, and I don't have anything against anybody, believers, non-believers, anything. It's just I'm figuring this out, so please respect me on that. And yeah, alright, well, stay tuned to my next video. Don't forget to check me out on Patreon. I'm on Patreon now. If you would like to support me and my channel, check me out on Patreon. They have there's different tiers that you could pledge to support me each month for like $5, $10, or you can make your own level, even if it's like $1 or $2, and you get access to special features and special things when you pledge to support me each month. So don't forget to check that out. Even if you don't want to support me monetarily, just check it out, because I put a lot of work into that page. Alright, till next time. Bye.